You serious?
Hello, this is How to Kill an Hour. I'm Marcus Bronzy.
What's happening? I'm Dev. Hey,
It's been a while, bruv.
It's been ages.
Where have you been?
Where have I been?
Yeah, what you been doing?
I've been about, mate. Showbiz Marcus. I should ask you, where have you been?
I've just been killing hours, bruv.
Mr. Big Time.
Mr. Hour Killer.
You don't call me no more. What happened? Did someone pull out last minute? Is that why you needed me?
Did someone? You know what? A lot of the time, a lot of my dilemmas are based around pulling out at the wrong time.
Did you ever? How long is that taking you into the podcast before you're making disgusting sexual innuendo, Marcus?
I know.
Is that a new record for you?
It is. I've not even said, you can listen to us by going to howtokillanhour.com, check out the stuff that we talk about on the show at howtokillanhour.com, and forgot to tell you, listener, sorry, that there's a link in the description that you can click to let us know what you think of us. Are we too perverted? Am I too perverted?
Because it's so professional right now. You've redeemed yourself. You started off with filth. You've won me back around. Let's proceed.
Cheers. Yeah, bro, I've just been killing hours, man. I feel like you've been too busy for us.
I've got some very, very exciting stuff coming up, but a lot of it I can't talk about, unfortunately. How else have I been killing hours? Oh, I killed an hour on Mastermind. I did that.
Yeah, you've not been on the show since that's happened.
Yeah, I did Mastermind. I filmed that 2 months ago. Sorry, and they just put it on telly a couple of weeks ago. I didn't watch it when it actually went on because I can't watch myself on TV. But I recorded that 2 months ago. Went up to Manchester. It was good, man.
Can you set it up, in case you don't know what Mastermind is?
Oh yeah. So Mastermind is this legendary British quiz. I don't know how long it's been on telly for. Let's just say the 60s because it sounds cool, doesn't it?
Ever, yeah.
I'm going to say it's been on telly since the 60s.
Yeah.
The idea is that you go on there with a specialist subject and you also get a general knowledge round. It's just of all the sort of telly shows you could be on, that's one of the ones, if you tell people, normally they're quite impressed. It's not the same sort of fodder as maybe some of the other shows that you could go on. But yeah, it was terrifying, but all in all, very thoroughly enjoyable experience. It was really good.
And how did you get approached for it?
So it's quite a funny story actually. A couple of months ago, I got invited to Thorpe Park. Sometimes when you work in the media, if there's an event happening, some company wants to invite you down to show off, you get invited to these things. At Thorpe Park, they do a couple of events every year. One of the ones was, I think, is it Fright Night or something like that?
Yeah.
Or maybe there was another one where they opened up the Darren Brown Ghost Train. I got invited to come down there. There's only about 100, 200 people in the park. You get to get on all the rides. It takes about 30 seconds to get on all the rides. It's like your ultimate dream when you're a kid. There's no queues. It's great.
Sick.
There's no little kids as well. It's great. So I was down there, and then when I was leaving, this girl runs up to me in the car park and she says, "All right, DJ Neville."
Oh shit! No, you've told us this on the podcast.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you that hear that podcast, that you're probably saying to yourself that was something that a complete stranger said to me. I shouldn't let it get to me.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
What it did, right? Touched the nerve. I was like, this is bullshit. I've been doing this job for ages. Is she winding me up, or I don't know? I was like, this is not good enough. All right, I need to get a little bit famous. Okay, not proper famous, just a little bit famous, so that people don't run up to me in car parks and call me fucking DJ Neville. All right,
DJ Neville.
I'm not having this. So I said to my manager, I was like, look, can you get me on it honestly was this simple. I said, can you get me on a couple of telly shows? What sort of things do you want to do? I went, I don't know, Mastermind. So, all right. So she talks to the people on the Mastermind end. They got back to her and they were like, yeah, we'd love to have Dev. So they give me a date to come and record. And so I went up to Manchester, and I'll tell you the full story. And then afterwards, I think me and you, we might decide that maybe we cut some of this out. Maybe we want to use it or not. Because maybe some of what I might say might affect my chances of being on a television show in the future, right? But I just want to be 100% honest about stuff, right? I kind of feel that's the best thing about podcasts, is that you get a chance to talk in a way that you can never talk on air, right? When you're on somebody else's dime, you can't really do that. So I've gone out to Manchester, and the way that they do these things, they film a bunch of episodes on one day. So in the green room, I'll be hanging out with maybe 12 people who are all going on the show, but on separate shows. So I was there with a comedian, Omid Jalili was there. I was on with I'm so bad. I haven't remembered any of their names. I was very, very nervous. Now Nathan Kane, the comedian, you know him. He was on my episode, and they'd all picked really good specialist subjects. So Nathan Kane had picked the Premiership. He'd been a big fan of football since he was young. The rugby player picked rugby. I was also on with a judge from a show called what's the name of that show? Some fashion type television show.
It's not my area.
Sewing Bee, that's what he's on.
Okay,
he's
cool.
on the Great British Sewing Bee or whatever it's called. His specialist subject was Ralph Lauren. Now, I don't really have any specialist subject that I know about. I just wanted to pick something that I would enjoy researching. So I picked the films of Will Ferrell. Because I thought for that, I just get to just sit and watch a bunch of Will Ferrell films. Oh, by the way, they had rejected a bunch of ideas that I'd come up with before.
Please let us know.
So I wanted to do South Park. I wanted to do The American Office. These are all things that I'm really, really big fans of.
Why not South Park?
They thought it would take too long, because there's like 20 seasons. They thought it would take too long to go through every single episode. And although I would be quite confident that I'd be able to answer most questions about South Park. In the end, we agreed on Will Ferrell films. So those are the people who are on my episode, and I was nervous beforehand, but I feel like I'd done adequate research. I'd watched every single Will Ferrell film I could possibly watch. I felt ready. You know, it's obviously quite nerve-wracking, but when I do these things, I'm always in the front of my mind, I've got, if you don't enjoy it, then what's the point? It's no point in doing something you could be so nervous. Like, just go and do it and enjoy it. If you mess it up, who cares? You know, it is an experience, and you'll have a story afterwards. Now, John Humphreys, who I was really excited to meet, legendary broadcaster, been on telly for years, very, very respected broadcaster. Now, he did something that really rubbed me up the wrong way, that a lot of old guard presenters and people in the media do. They assume, because I'm younger than them and I'm on like a young hip radio station, BBC Radio 1, Saturday and Sunday mornings, the weekend breakfast show.
What time?
6 till 10 a.m. They assume that I'm going to sort of get in, like sort of make jibes about how old they are. Oh, you're old. Oh, you're out of touch. And it's not really my shtick. You're a legend to me. Why am I going to come in here and say, oh, you're older? I'm not. So what a lot of these old guard presenters doing, it's happened to me a lot of times. They try and beat you to the punch by sort of being a bit self-deprecating to themselves. It's very, very tiresome. And also, they try and make out like they don't know what it is that you do. So the first thing, I'd gone and sat in the Mastermind chair is this coveted thing. Only a few people get to sit in it, this iconic just piece of furniture. And I'm walking up to it super excited. I really want to enjoy this moment that I get to sit down in a chair. And the first question that John Humphreys asked me, he says, so Dev, says here that you're a DJ. Trying to make out like it's this mystic art that I do. And I haven't watched it, so I don't know if you can see my face, but my heart sank, man. I was like, is this the bants we're going to have? Really? That you don't know what it is? This is the honest response I wanted to give, Marcus, right? This is exactly what I wanted to be like, fuck off, John. You know what I do, mate. The term DJ has been around since the fucking 60s. So has Radio 1. We do the same job, mate. We're presenters. We do the same thing. Why are you trying to make out like you don't? Oh yeah, DJ. So what's that then? Oh, I wouldn't know. I'm an old man. You're so young and hip. So immediately I was put off. I was just like, oh fuck, let's just get this over and done with. So I'm not enjoying the experience to the full anymore. I'm wound up. So then I go in on my specialist subject, Will Ferrell films, and a bunch of the questions I know straight away. 2 of them I should have known definitely. But this is what I kept doing. It's the weirdest thing kept happening to me. When he would start a question, I would think, I know this one. So I'd start searching for the answer. Then by the time he got to the end of the question, I would realize, oh, hang on a minute. That's not the question I've just been looking for the answer for. And I've not paid attention to the actual question you just asked me. And so at least 2 or 3 times I had to ask him to repeat the question. There was another time where I just blurted out the wrong answer. Two of the ones I should have just got. They were easy ones I should have just got, right? But didn't. 2 of their ones, I feel like they fucked me over a little bit because there were questions on films that weren't even Will Ferrell films. Just films that Will Ferrell happened to pop up in for about 30 seconds. One of them was a question about the film Get Hard, the one with Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
It's not one of his best. And the only film I watched in my 4 or 5 day Will Ferrell binge is the only film I watched where I fell asleep because it was so shit. Yeah, it's very sad. But so I got like 6 in my specialist round.
Yeah.
Everybody else got every single question right in their specialist round. Overall, my score was 13, which placed me last out of everybody else. If you want to know the difference, the top score was something like 27. It wasn't even close.
Okay.
Annoyingly, the episode that they recorded beforehand that I'd watched in the green room, that 13 probably would have landed me maybe 3rd or 2nd, but I loved it. I loved every minute of it, apart from that bit with the little bants with Humphreys,
where he punked you. Tried to punk you.
Yeah, and it's annoying for me because I still respect him as a broadcaster. It rubbed me up the wrong way. It's sort of the equivalent of, well, not the equivalent of, but a while ago when I filmed a bargain hunt for charity, did it for children in need. You tell me if I'm being funny, okay, or if you would have felt annoyed at the same situation as well. So they sent me a car to come pick me up. We was going to this auction house. It's out in the middle of fucking nowhere, man. I can't remember where it was. It was like, cab comes to pick me up. It's early in the morning. There's a runner that meets me outside the auction house.
Yeah.
He opens the car door for me, and he says, how's it going, Dev? You all right? And he holds out like his fist, like to
fist bump you.
Yeah. Is it weird that annoyed me? Do you know I'm really embarrassed to say as well? Like, I bumped his hand. I was like, I should have slapped his hand away like me.
That's the ultimate diss. If you go to fist bump someone and they backhand your fist away and just
what I should have done is maybe act like I don't know what you're trying to do, like sort of hold on to it. Like,
if you grab it and shake it,
yeah,
that's awkward. He fist bumped you. That's a bit unprofessional, bro.
That's what I thought. I thought that's unprofessional. If I walked up to the director or whoever the producer on that day, and I'd gone, yeah, safe, what you saying? Like, held out my fist. That'd have been weird, innit? But they're unprofessional of me. I fucking shake my hand like you shake everybody else's hand. It reminded me of that Dave Chappelle sketch. What is it, when keeping it real goes wrong?
Yeah,
He's just a runner, so I could have slapped him and that would happen.
All right, Clarkson.
I'm just joking. I would never slap a runner unless they really, really...
Unless the food wasn't hot. If the food wasn't hot,
unless
right?
they messed up my steak, then they get a backhand with my ring hand.
He fist bumped you.
What?
Similar thing happened to my mate, actually. He was at work and one of the other employees was like, yes! And when they said yes, and they were like, his manager, they clenched their hands together and he mistook it for a fist. So he went, yeah, bam! And they looked at their fist and looked at his fist and was like, oh. And he just said he had to keep moving.
Yeah.
But at least you fist bumped him back though. So wait, you done Mastermind, right? Yeah. You've also done Bargain Hunt.
I've done Bargain Hunt.
You set that up as well.
They let me keep the fleece.
You got one of the coveted fleeces.
Yeah, they let me keep it. I wear it around the house sometimes.
When you say let you keep.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing, right? Am I gonna have to explain Bargain? Listen,
yeah, you
got plenty. If people are listening to this, right, and they're trying to kill an hour, you're probably listening to, probably a lot of people listening who are at home during the day.
Why have you got to say that to our listeners? Shit.
You've seen Bargain Hunt. It's where you go to some market, you try and pick out something that you think is going to make money. You then go to an auction house. They auction it off. Whatever money you make, you keep, or whatever. You try and make a profit. You get the idea. There's 20 shows like that on telly at any given time. This one was for charity, children in need. I don't like to talk about my charity work. We raised a lot of money. Thanks very much. So we've gone down to Old Spitalsfield, which is incredible. If you ever want just a day out, just to go and hang, go to Old Spitalsfield. There's some incredible characters there. Just some people that you don't encounter anywhere else. There's this woman who you're not gonna find this funny, but it was hilarious to me. We was filming you ever been out in public filming stuff and you get two types of people normally. You get people who really do not want to be filmed. Like, they're just like, whatever you do not bring the, oh my God, cover my face. Oh. Like they're wanted by the fucking mob or some shit. Like they're in a witness protection program. Or you get people who just do not give a shit that you're filming. So they'll walk in the background. They're not trying to move out of the way. Fuck you. So we was filming something, and this bonkers woman behind me, she thought I'd owned one of the stalls. And this voice that cracked me up for the best part of 4 hours. Even now, thinking about it, like months after it happened, makes me laugh. She just went, "Oh, I like those snakes. They got some lovely snakes out there." She was talking about these stuffed snakes that this guy. She just kept wagging on and on and on about these snakes, and she sort of followed us around the whole market. And Bargain Hunt being a very popular television program, we're in a place where you buy antiques. It's generated a bit of attention. One of the presenters of the show, I want to call him David. Let's just call him David. I don't remember people's names. No, you're thinking of Dickinson.
Yeah.
I feel so bad. He's such a nice guy as well. Anyway, he's our team leader. He's taking us around, talking us through some of the antiques or bits that we can buy. And this guy, just bare face in the middle of us filming, just walks up to him, prods him in the chest and goes, "I don't like Bargain Hunt." All right, on you go, mate. For fuck's sake, what is wrong with people?
So this is fucking what? Plain, like, don't give a fuck that he's filming.
No, it's just gonna go on to you. I don't like Bargain Hunt.
Fucking hell. So Bargain Hunt.
Weird. It's like going up to someone on the street and just being like, "I don't like your scarf."
And I like your face.
I do like your scarf that you got on right now. That was a weird sort of subliminal thing, innit? That because you have a sort of, it's kind of like it's almost like a sari, I'd say, you're wearing as a scarf, as a little trendy scarf. That's not a man's scarf. You didn't buy that in the man's section. No way. You've borrowed that.
Do you know whose
Where
scarf
did you get
this
the scarf
is?
from? Go on.
It's my mum's scarf.
There you go.
It's my mum's scarf.
You wear it well. I'm just saying, like, it's definitely not a man's
At Christmas,
scarf.
at Christmas, I had a cold neck. I said, "Can I borrow a scarf?" My mum said, "I've got one over there." And I said, "Oh, cheers." And it's not gone back to the house. It's not gone back to the house since then. So
you wear it well.
Thank you very much, sir. So Bargain Hunt.
Oh yeah, sorry.
It kind of feels like it's not like, and I don't want to diss the shows that you've been on, but I don't feel like it's as exciting as Mastermind. Has it got excitement, but in a different format? Am I not seeing the levels of excitement of buying antiques and selling them again?
It's good fun. It's good fun just to root around in loads of tat and shit and see what you find. Not literally, but
what sort of shit did you find?
Do you know what I find fascinating that doesn't have any monetary value whatsoever, but to me was just beautiful, and I spent ages looking at, and it was these old family photos that somebody just had. Like, people just had these collections of just the weirdest shit in these places, and again, not worth any money whatsoever, but I found these old family photos, and it was a family trip to Margate from like 1965 or something like that.
60s.
Yeah. And I was just sort of flicking through them, and they're all black. And you know what's so beautiful about these photos is these beautiful moments captured in time, and you could tell they're not aware that this is going to sound stupid. They obviously know that they're in a picture, but it's not the same as when you take a picture now where when you take the picture, you want to look at it to make sure, no, take it again. Or people just take pictures of everything, and we've got our poses down and the way, which side of our face we like to, and I don't like to raise my eyebrows too much. I got a wrinkly forehead. But these people, they're not aware of any of that. They're just having this really beautiful moment captured. And they're probably all dead now, because a lot of the people in the photos were pretty old when the photos were taken, but I just thought you probably find it really boring, but I thought it was really beautiful. Just these old photos, years later, they're not my family, they've got nothing to do with me, whatever, and here I was just years later, 40 years later, just appreciating their family trip to Margate.
So that's nice shit that wasn't worth money. Did you manage to make some cash?
We did. We made more money than who we were up against. We were up against a couple of presenters from Radio 4. We made more money than them, not much, but we made more money, and we raised a bit of money for charity. Oddly enough, it was super intimidating. By the way, the place was fine once we got the bits, but going to the auction house, that was very intimidating. The people in the auction house are not fucking about. They're not there to play no game. They know exactly what they're looking for. They know what's worth money. They know what's complete shit. And most of the stuff we had was complete shit. But we tried to win them over with, "Come on, guys, it's for charity." But a lot of them weren't biting. Alice Levine, who I'd been on the show with, she put up her own item for bidding. It was a night that she does. I think it's like a cookery event, something like that they cook at someone's house or whatever, like a dinner thing. And just some lone guy bid a lot of money.
Yes.
Basically just to hang out.
Pervy old man.
With Alice.
Yeah, rubs thigh.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Did the Radio 4 DJs, who's it's a station that definitely has an older demographic, did they DJ you? Did you get DJ'd again? A little bit. One of the guys, I forget his name, is like a political correspondent or something like that. So, and he's thinking, you know what I do, Dev.
Well,
you know.
Well, in situations like that, it's like this. I have no idea about his world.
Yeah.
He's there on his tablet and he's keeping up to date with stories. He's putting more work into his show probably in 10 minutes than I've ever done in my career. And he's just super focused. He's in this world, I don't know about what he does.
Yeah.
He probably, I know as much about the political climate as he does about Drake's last album, for example. All right. We have nothing to say to each other. I think I ended up telling him, we had a long car journey back that we all shared. I told them a really inappropriate story. Is it late? Shall I call Alice and try and remember the story?
Yeah, go on.
It's kind of late.
It's up to you, bruv.
Do you know what? It might not be worth it. Maybe you can edit this afterwards.
Maybe, why don't you message her?
I really want to remember.
Why don't you message her, and then if we get a hit back, then we can bring it up in another episode.
Yeah. Can I just all right, let me just message her now and be like,
this is Def live messaging. So yeah, it's How to Kill Now. Every episode, while Dev's doing that, we do like to give you a way to kill some time. And I think definitely in this episode, I feel like it's all of our jobs to go onto the BBC iPlayer and search for this Celebrity Mastermind episode featuring Dev and find out what his face looks like when he is asked, are you a DJ?
So you're a DJ, is it? I don't know what that is.
So I do want to see what Dev's face is like when that happens. That was this episode of How to Kill an Hour. We're gonna find out what this story is. Yeah. So we've got another episode coming up. Actually, you've been killing some time in the cinema, actually, which we'd like to hear about in the next episode, bruv. But I've been Marcus Bronzy.
I've been Dev, sponsored by, what are we today? Parody. Send me beer.